Alrighty, good morning. Look at this beautiful day. It's the start of spring in the southern hemisphere, in Cape Town, and the weather is definitely playing ball with that. So what I want to talk about today is just how to start enjoying your life again. You can start this no matter where you're at, man. Like, no matter what your current circumstances are, whether you're dealing with health challenges, whether you're dealing with anything, right? You can be in difficult situations, but I want to give you an application in yourself, a self-applying application, to start to change your life, right? So you could call this brain retraining, you could call this spiritual work, you could call this rewiring your mindset. Go for it, call it whatever works for you, right? Whether you're spiritually orientated, whether you're neuroscientifically orientated, doesn't matter. And the key to this is, can you start to embrace everything? Can you start to not only accept your present situation, but embrace your present situation? Just flip the switch on how you respond to things. Start practicing that. Doesn't matter where you are, you can start this, right? You can literally say, I don't give a fuck what happens to me, I'm gonna be grateful for it, right? You can say, I'm gonna embrace every thought that enters my mind, I'm gonna embrace every emotion that I feel, I'm gonna embrace every person that I meet, I'm gonna embrace every sensation that enters my body. I'm going to embrace everything, right? And yes, you can have challenging situations, right? I started doing this when I was like stuck at home, sick, thought I was going to die, and ready to give up on life. And I read a couple of books all about how to get out of this kind of a situation, and it was really about start to love everything for what it is. And it's almost like you're gaslighting yourself. I mean, I hate that word, honestly, because it's just used for everything nowadays. But it can feel like that, right? A part of you might be saying like, I don't love this. And no, I do, right? I don't give a shit if a part of me said it doesn't love it, right? I would do this, right? I would say, I love that I'm in the situation that I'm in. I would write this, I would journal it. I would sit there and I would journal to myself about how much I loved exactly what was happening to me. Even though more of me didn't love it, sorry, it's a noisy street down here. Even though more of myself wanted to resent the situation that I was in and resist and fight with life, I'd known that that part of myself was what was keeping me stuck. So I needed to find another way. So that resistance can run in the background, right? You can be doing this work and your mind can be saying, I'm not grateful, fuck this, I don't like it. And then you can be like, no, I'm gonna switch my response to things. And it actually works. You're literally rewiring your brain. You're literally changing the way you see the world. You literally start, I'm saying literally a lot, but you do. You start to look at life through a different filter, and then it starts to trigger itself, right? Then you go outside somewhere and something happens and your gratitude filter triggers, as opposed to your fear and resentment filter or pathways in your brain, right? You go somewhere and something happens and you can be like, wow, I'm just so grateful that that's happening. I'm so grateful that this car hooted at me. I'm so grateful that that person swerved in front of me and zapped the middle finger. What a crazy experience, right? I got mugged at the beginning of this year, and afterwards I was like, that was wild. Like, what a story to have been mugged. I was fine, but it's all just experience, right? And you choose how you look at experience. My arm is like shaking. I need to work on my camera holding exercises. But yeah, you can really start to look at life through this filter. Everything is an opportunity. Everything, and it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel the difficult emotions, feel your shame, feel your guilt. I've got all other videos on this about the importance of kind of holding space for every part of yourself, right? Not trying to push away the uncomfortable, difficult feelings. Quite the opposite. But you can have this foundation of, I love everything that comes into my life. I love every experience. And then also look at ways that if you wake up and you don't feel this way, look at ways that you can start to bring more of this into your life. Bring events that will make you naturally feel this way as well. So for me, I wanted to start connecting with people more, and I was like, you know what, I've been focusing too much on myself. How can I start to kind of give more to other people? And I was like, that always brings me back with a sense of joy and appreciation when you just kind of do something for somebody else selflessly. So that became an orientation more on my mind recently. It was like, wow, I was like a little bit too much focused on me again. And that is like a helpful shift. It's like, okay, wait, how can I help people? What can I do to help people? And then it's like, then I start to get this energy, this kind of this appreciation and wanting to share as well, right? The more you kind of share this joy of living with others, the more it kind of flows through you. And it really does flow back to you, right? If you go around kind of putting this out, I mean, a great example, I went to buy some sushi last night and I was just like in such a good mood, just appreciating walking down the street. And then the waitress at the sushi place was like the friendliest human I'd ever met in my life. And I was like, we were both just reflecting back to each other, like how happy we were. But if I'd gone there and like I was grumpy and like, fuck, I'm just so sick of things and all of that, then I probably would have gotten that reflected back to me. So, you know, it really does, it really does come back to you. And yeah, so there, I want to share that with you. Like, you really can do this. You can just feel into a little bit of this kind of excitement for life, right? I understand if you're in a challenging situation, but it's not going to stay like that forever. And it is actually something to crack you open. It is actually something to shed old versions of yourself, right? Whenever I've had like a dark night of the soul period where things like get real fucking intense, it was kind of literally killing a part of myself, you know, because then I got through it, and then on the other side I'm like, oh wow, that version of me is gone, that heaviness is gone, right? But when it comes through, it's bloody intense, so it can be a lot. You can be processing a lot, but you know, don't get caught up in the mind. This is what makes it difficult, is this heaviness needs to release. It needs to come through the system. It needs to be gone through love, right? It's not like, oh, screw you, I need to get rid of you. But it does need a release, but we can get caught up in it on its way out, right? It can, you know, like these old resistances come into the light of awareness and need to be released. And while they're coming through, we can get caught in it, and it can feel like a lot. So that's also a helpful reminder. If you're going through a lot, you're heading in the right direction, right? The stuff needs to come out, it needs to release. Don't get caught up in it though. Yeah, kind of just remind yourself, put yourself in spaces that remind you of this, right? Do the things that help you. Like for me, that's meditation. That's just waking up and being like, you know, I could wake up and be like, oh, how am I feeling today? What do I want to do? You know, do I feel like doing that? And then I was just like, fuck it, I'm alive. You know, I'm just gonna be happy about it. So all the best, much love. You got this, and go enjoy your life. All right.